Hey and welcome. My name is Flo and I'm excited to guide you through a vinyasa flow sequence today focusing on backbends. Thank you everyone for responding to the poll that we put out a couple of months ago on our community board where we asked you what you would like to see this year, 2021, on this channel. And we were super excited about all the feedback and the participation and the results. This year we are focusing more on strong classes, like very strong classes, mobility classes, as well as more vlogs. So you get more of a glimpse of our life and behind the scenes and what we're doing, how we're filming all of this stuff and where we're traveling to and what we're doing if you're not in front of the camera. So you get more of a insight into our life and how we live yoga off the mat. As a result of that poll, this will be a stronger class focusing on backbends. You don't need any props for today's practice, and we'll begin on our back. Find your way onto your back, half Savasana, the legs are bent, the feet are on the ground. Close your eyes, arms down by the sides, next to your body. Take a moment to arrive. Feel the support from the mat and the ground underneath you. If you're not on a mat, then feel whatever you're laying on. Notice the breath coming in and out through the nose. Fully arrive and know that you are here for this practice. You're here for yourself. You showed up for yourself. Be proud of yourself for doing that. And take a moment to set an intention for your practice today. What is it that you want to focus on beyond the physical? What made you show up today? Let's bring the heels closer to the hips, press into the feet, lift your hips up for bridge pose. Tuck your shoulder blades under a bit more so you can come more onto the shoulder blades, engage your glutes, lift your hips up high, and keep a gap between the chin and the chest. Really press into those heels, into the feet to lift the hips up high. You want to activate and feel the glutes. Keep your eyes closed if you want. And keep your breath nice and soft. Gently start to engage your Ujjayi breath, which will guide you through this practice today. To activate your glutes even more, start to pull the heels up towards the shoulder blades. So the body and the feet are actually not moving, you're just pulling them up. It's almost not visible from the outside, but you're working a lot more within your body. Throughout this practice, I invite you, as things get stronger, to just do your best, to modify if you need to. That means maybe you set the knees down, maybe you skip a pose, maybe you skip a transition. And to most importantly, focus on the breath. So when things get challenging and you want to skip it, you want to set the knees down, first ask yourself, am I doing my best? And then see if you can breathe deeper and fuller. And that might assist you through this challenging part of the practice. This is oftentimes, especially in strong classes, the part that's really important to actually come back to the breath when things get tough. So if this bridge pose feels like forever for you right now, and you really start to feel the legs and the glutes, this is the first opportunity to breathe deeper. Are you doing your best? Your best is different every day. Maybe you had a not so restful night's sleep, then of course your best today is different than when you wake up after a long, nice sleep You feel restored and relaxed, and then your best on that day is better or different. Alright, let's take 3 more breaths here. We will engage the glutes more throughout this practice, as we do in all the back bends. Last deep breath in. Exhale, release the hips down. Very good job. Take a moment here to just relax, bring the knees together. Keep the feet as they are. Now hug your knees into the chest. Rock forward and back. And let's meet in a seated position. Place the feet down to the ground. A little bit wider apart than your hips. Bring your hands behind you. The fingertips are pointing towards your hips. Lift your hips up for reverse tabletop. Press into the hands, press into the feet, lift the hips up high. It doesn't matter how high. Just lift them up as high as it's accessible for you right now. You can do whatever you want with your head. You can keep looking forward, or you can tilt the head back. Engage your glutes again. Start to rock forward and back to gently warm up the wrists and the shoulders. Stretch out the shoulders a bit. Very good. Walk the hands forward, come into a squat at the front of the mat. Beautiful. Now that you're here in this comfortable squat, we focus a little bit more on our feet and our toes. As you know, it's so important to keep the toes and the feet healthy. Something I do a lot, and what I also shared with you on our Instagram, and I think also in some previous videos, maybe even also on Patreon, is a little bit of an exercise for the toes. We'll keep it simple so we can go back to back bends, but I just want to keep you longer in the squat basically. In the squat, we ultimately want to lift the big toes up and keep the other 4 toes on the ground. And then we lower the toes back, the big toe back down. Lift up, lower. And we're doing 5 of these. If that's not accessible for you, then you can come up a little bit, almost to standing, kind of like a halfway lift or something, and then try it there. If that's not accessible for you, then you can fully stand up and do it there. The most challenging part is in the squat. So lift the big toes up in the position that works for you. Lower down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very good. Now we keep the big toes on the ground and only lift the other 4 toes up. If in a squat that's not working for you, then come up higher or even stand up fully. So we're going for lifting up, lower. Lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very good. Beautiful job. Now bring the hands down. Step the feet back, downward facing dog. Keep the knees bent, move the chest towards the thighs. Firm into the inner hands, press into the ground, move the hips up and back, walk your dog. Open up the hamstrings, your hips, your lower back. Especially if this is the first time you're practicing today, then take a moment here to walk it out. Keep the breath nice and soft. Stay with your intention. Beautiful job. Set the knees down for tabletop. Make sure that the wrists are right underneath the shoulders and the knees are right underneath the hips. Untuck the toes. Ground your back for cat pose. And now move from the spine upwards. Try to roll from the base of the spine upwards into cow pose. Really nice and slow. For cow. And then again from the base of your spine you start to round to cat. Let's do 2 more just like that. Keep the breath going. Beautiful. Come onto your toes. Slide the hands back. Let's do a quick wrist warm up with your arms straight. and spread your fingers wide. You move the shoulders forward as far as you can so that you feel it in your wrists, but always keep the inside part of the hand pressing down. And then rock back. Rock forward and back. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Internally rotate the hands. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Externally rotate the hands. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now the fingers are pointing outwards. Lean to your right and to the left. 5, to the right, to the left. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful job. Now the fingertips are pointing towards the knees. Now we just lean back. Keep the arms straight. If you want, of course, you can rock forward and back or side to side. Up to you, whatever feels good. It's important to take the time to warm up the wrists. In my own practice, in almost all the classes here on the channel and all the classes we teach in person, we almost never skip the wrist warm-up. It's just so important. And so if you're taking a class with someone or in a studio or online that does not do a wrist warm-up, it's good to, when you show up a little bit earlier or before the video, to do your own wrist warm-up. Just so much better for your overall health and preventing any wrist injuries. Very good. Sit on the heels, stay on the toes. So we're continuing to stretch out the feet and the toes. Now we just pull on the fingers, but gently keep the arms straight. Pull the thumb back, just gently here. You can easily overdo it, so be careful here. This is something I like to do when I do my handstand training. Now the index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and pinky finger. Very good. Now other side, same with the left hand. Keep the left arm straight, start with the thumb. And if you're interested in learning handstand, we have a free video here on the channel with 5 tips for handstand. Index finger. I also have a full handstand program on Patreon where I guide you, middle fingers, where I guide you from no handstand to holding a handstand in the middle of the room for 1 minute. So if you're interested, check it out. Ring finger, the link is in the description below. And index finger, pinky finger. Very good. Shake out the hands. Beautiful. Come into a tabletop. Now this time untuck the toes again. Extend your right arm forward, the left leg back for spine balancing. The left foot is flexed. You're reaching with the right fingertips forward, and then through the spine, through the hips, you're reaching back through the left leg and through the left heel. Very good. If you feel the left hand here, make sure the left inside part of the hand, so where the between the index finger and the thumb, is pressing down into the mat. Very important. Keep pushing into the left palm. Very good. Now bend your left leg. With your right hand, you grab the left foot or the ankle if you want. And once you have it, extend the left leg away from you. So you feel a pull on the right shoulder. You're also coming into a slight back bend here. And you breathe. Very good. Slowly release, back to spine balancing. Reach the right arm forward, the left leg back, and release down, right hand down, left leg down, other side. Reach your left arm forward, the right leg back. Tuck your tailbone a little bit, keep the core strong. Press into the inside part of your right hand. Reach forward to the left fingertips and back through the right heel. Bend your right leg with your left hand, grab the right foot. Once you have it, extend the right leg away from you, so you're really pulling on that left shoulder by extending the leg. Keep pressing into the right palm. Maybe lift your right leg and your left arm a little bit higher up. Last deep breath in. And exhale, release to spine balancing. Left arm forward, right leg back. Deep breath in, last one. Release down. Beautiful job. Spine balancing somehow is always harder than it seems, at least for me. I always find this quite challenging. Welcome to the practice. Back to downward facing dog, send the hips up and back. Reconnect to the breath again, to your intention. Nice and slow, controlled Ujjayi breathing through the nose. Start to roll through the spine forward for plank pose. Bring the shoulders over the wrists. Press into the inside part of your hands, tuck your tailbone, engage the core, and externally rotate the upper arms. Keep breathing here, keep holding. Maybe shift forward even more to warm up even further into the wrists. Even more. Keep the arms straight. Maybe shift forward even more, hold it there. Very good. Now bend your arms, Chaturanga. Bring the elbows in, close to the rib cage. Keep the elbows over the wrists. Hold. Press it up to plank. Shift forward, lower all the way down. For sphinx pose, bring the forearms down to the ground. Make sure that the elbows are underneath the shoulders. Untuck the toes, look straight ahead. Engage your glutes, and if that doesn't feel good for the lower back, bring your legs and your feet wider apart. Close your eyes if you want to, but keep breathing. Keep the glutes strong. If you would like to go deeper, press into the palms for seal pose. Straighten your arms. Important here to engage your glutes even more. And release down, beautiful job. Bring your hands next to your rib cage or underneath the shoulders a little bit, slide them a little bit back. Come into the toes, lift your knees up, lift your hips up, and then straighten your arms for plank. Downward dog. Roll through the spine forward again, plank pose. Bring the feet together, the big toes are touching. Now side plank on the left side. Stack the right foot over the left. Reach your right arm up. Use your left fingertips to grip into the mat. Press into the inside part of your left hand. Lift your left hip slightly higher up. Engage your glutes. Now step that right foot behind the left calf for wild thing. Keep your left leg straight. The right leg is bent. Lift your hips up high. Reach your right arm up and over your head. Glutes are engaged. You're really light on the right toes. The right heel is lifted. Let's move to a modified side plank. Draw the right knee towards the right arm and hold it there. Look inside the left hand. Slowly step the right foot there. Move in super slow motion. We will meet in a low lunge. Set the left knee down. Stay on your left toes. Move the hips forward and down. Pull the right heel back. Push the left knee forward to make this foundation nice and active. Then interlace your hands behind the back. And reach with your hands towards the left heel. Keep the glutes engaged. Open the chest, the collarbones. Maybe look upwards towards the ceiling. Nice and slow, deep breaths. And release. Beautiful job. We come forward, standing on the right foot for Warrior 3 prep. I would slide back a little bit. Left leg lifts up. Fingertips on the ground. Lengthen forward through the spine, from the hips upwards and forward through the spine, through the crown of the head. At the same time, you're reaching from the hip backwards through the left leg and through the left heel. Rotate the left hip more down. Keep the breath nice and soft. Straighten your left leg more. It doesn't matter how high you can lift it up, just keep it nice and straight. And let's rise up for standing pigeon. Without the left foot touching the ground, cross the left ankle over the right thigh. Hands to the heart, bend the right leg, send the hips back and down. Keep that left foot flexed the whole time. Maybe actively, with your own inner strength, pull the left knee more down. Look at some point on the ground or in front of you that helps you to stay balanced. And breathe. With your inhale, release, rise up to standing for tree pose. Bring that left foot inside the right shin or inside the right thigh. Stand tall, hands to the heart. Press into the palms to really activate your pecs and your shoulders. Push the hips forward. And gently pull the left knee back to open up that left hip even more. Stand tall and breathe. Now there's two options here. The first one is you stay here. This is perfect as it is, wherever you are. The other one is if you would like to move more into a back bend, especially standing back bend, I can offer you dancer's pose. For that you use your left hand to grab the inside of the left foot so that the thumb is upwards towards the left toes. Reach your right arm forward, slowly lean forward, extend your left leg more, just like how we did earlier in this spine balancing. So you will feel a pull on the left shoulder. Keep the glutes engaged as much as possible. Just 2 more breaths all together wherever you are. Last deep breath in. All together, step the left foot back for Warrior 2. That's all meat in Warrior 2. Reach the right arm forward, the left arm back. Look inside the right knee. Make sure you can see the right big toe inside the right knee. Stay here and breathe. Look over the right middle finger, or I highly recommend you close your eyes. Feel the air coming in through the nose and out through the nose. If the shoulders are starting to talk to you, breathe deeper. If the legs are starting to talk to you, you guessed it, breathe deeper. Can you focus so much on your breath that you maybe even not feel your body talking to you so much anymore? You reduce the noise and you breathe through it. Last deep breath in here. Exhale, Skandasana to the left. Straighten your right leg, bend your left. Side squat to the left side. Now move to the front of the mat. We're meeting in Wild Thing. Left hand down, step the right foot up and over behind the left calf. Land the right toes, reach your right arm up and over your head. Engage your glutes. Exhale, release, plank pose. Tuck your tailbone, engage the core. Shift forward, come high onto the toes. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Keep the breath going. Release the elbows down for dolphin pose. Ideally, you have the forearms parallel to another. So we get a nice external rotation in the shoulders. But make it work for you. Keep the legs straight or at least as straight as you can. Push the chest more towards the thighs. Now feel the hands, feel the fingertips. Keep pressing into the inside part of your hands. Look forward, shift forward, the elbows lift up for Chaturanga. Plank, knees down, elbows down. Exhale, glide forward and through. On your inhale, upward facing dog. Bring the feet and the legs wide apart. Broaden the collarbones, pull the shoulders back. The glutes are super engaged. Last deep breath in. Exhale, downward dog. Let's do one more just like that, kind of like a modified vinyasa. Release the elbows down. Dolphin. First open up the shoulders here. Find that dolphin that works well for you. Super fun pose. I really love doing this one. Super challenging if you hold it for a couple of minutes. Look forward. Chaturanga. Plank. Chaturanga again. Got you there, I know. Plank. Knees down, elbows down. Exhale, glide forward and through. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward dog. Deep breath in through the nose. Open mouth, let it go. 2 more just like that on your own. Seal your lips again. Roll through the spine forward. Plank pose. Let's do the other side. Feet together, big toes together. Side plank on the right side. Reach your left arm up. Press into the inside part of your right hand. Externally rotate the right arm. Lift your right hip slightly higher up to really activate your core on the right side, your obliques. When you're ready, step your left foot behind your right calf for wild thing. Try to keep the right shoulder over the right wrist. Reach with your left arm up and over your head. Glutes are strong. They lift the hips up. Your left heel is lifted, so you're only on the left toes. Modified side plank. Draw the left knee towards the left arm. Hold. Look inside the right hand, slowly, super slow motion. Don't rush this one. Step the left foot there. Slower, move slower. Low lunge, right knee down. Stay on the right toes, rise up. First, get the foundation right. Pull the left heel back. Push the right knee forward. Interlace your hands behind the back, maybe now the opposite way than you did before. Reach your hands back towards the right heel. Open the heart, the chest, the collarbones. Maybe look up. Very good. Release. Warrior 3 prep. Move forward. Straighten both legs, fingertips down. Straighten both legs as much as you can. Lift your right leg higher up. Lengthen forward and through the spine. Lengthen, reach the crown of the head forward. And reach at the same time back through the right heel. Lower the right hip more down. Rise up to standing pigeon without the right foot touching the ground. Cross the right ankle over the left thigh. Hands to the heart. Keep the right foot flexed. Send the hips back and down. And actively, from the strength within, pull the right knee more down. Nice and slow deep breaths through the nose. Very good. On your inhale, rise up for tree pose. Right foot inside the left shin or the left thigh. Hands to the heart, press into the palms, activate your shoulders and your pecs. Push the hips forward. Find and look at one point that helps you balance. Your drishti can be internal or also external. In standing balancing poses, oftentimes a external drishti really helps you out. To open the right hip more, pull the right knee more back. Really like integrating tree pose into my classes and practice. Lately, it's a nice one to get blood flow again going into the hip, especially if you're doing lots of standing poses on one side. Asymmetrical standing balancing poses. And it's also a very nice hip opener. Now the option here to stay, this is great. Or dancer's pose if you want a standing back bend. Just like before, you grab the right foot so that the right thumb is pointing up towards the right toes. Reach your left arm forward, lean forward, extend the right leg back. Or basically just extend the right leg. Hold here and breathe. All together, last deep breath in. On your exhale, all together, step the right foot back, warrior two. So we all meet there. Reach your left arm forward, the right arm back. Get comfortable here in this warrior two. You know we're staying here for a little bit. Look over your left middle finger, or I highly recommend you close your eyes. Take this as your meditation position for now and explore the depth of the breath of yourself through the breath. If the shoulders start to talk to you or your legs, can you breathe deeper and slower? Last deep breath in. Exhale, Skandasana to the right. Straighten your left leg, bend the right side squat. Move to the front of the mat. Wild thing. Right hand down. Step the left foot behind the right calf. Last deep breath in. Exhale, plank pose, both hands down, both feet down. Find your plank, clean it up. Some of you asked in the comments, what does it mean, clean it up? Well, you should watch our plank tutorial then, where we talk about it. And I also mention it in every single class. That means tuck your tailbone, engage the core, push the ground away, press into the inside part of your hands, and externally rotate the arms. Shift forward, come high onto your toes, chaturanga, plank, chaturanga again. Who knows what's coming next? Chaturanga, let's do one more because it's so nice. I see your smiling face, chaturanga, plank, knees down, elbows down. Exhale to glide forward and through. Inhale to up dog. Stay there. Broaden the collarbones, push the ground away with your hands. Now rotate your head to the right. Look to your right feet, to your right foot. And now other side. Keep the glutes flexed. Back to up dog. Now stay on the tops of your feet. Bend your arms, chaturanga again. Tuck the tailbone. Plank. Well, you guys asked for strong classes, so you're getting those. Chaturanga again. Plank. 47 more. Chaturanga. Plank. Chaturanga. Plank. Are you doing your best? Are you breathing slow? Breathe slower. Down dog. Send the hips up and back. We're not done yet. We're finishing strong. Elbows down. Dolphin. Chaturanga, back to dolphin, chaturanga, back to dolphin, Chaturanga, 2 more. We meet in dolphin. Great. Let's relax here. Come back to the breath. You feel like, oh my God, Flo, what are you doing? What is this class? Well, first of all, I warned you in the beginning, it's a strong class, so don't act surprised. And it's the invitation to shut up that voice in your head that's right now talking. This is so hard. Why am I doing so much strength? This is not yoga. Well, to me, this is yoga. But you talking in your head, you're not present. You want it to be over, so you're in the future, or you regret doing this class, then you're in the past. But going through all this stuff, set the knees down, it's all good. Breathe through the nose, nice and slow. It's challenging, I know, for me too. Embrace it. Sometimes there's things that life throws in your way that are also challenging. But because you took Flo's class today, you know that you can make it through it by staying present and focusing on the breath. That's the whole teaching why we do such hard classes, to teach you that. I love dolphin, I don't know about you. Do you love it? Let me know in the comments if you love dolphin pose. Let's do one more, guys. Finish strong. Chaturanga, shift forward, plank, and lower all the way down. Very good. Good job, good job. All right. Last back bend, and you could call it the peak pose of the practice today, is floor bow, and you will hold it. I have a timer going. Let's go for 30 seconds. But you know me, sometimes we just add a couple extra if I feel like it. If that doesn't work for you, then just stay in sphinx pose or seal. Do any other modification that works well for you if you're into it. Otherwise, dripping sweat here, you're probably at home too. Otherwise, floor bow is what we do now. So you grab the ankles or the feet. The purpose of this is to open the front body and not necessarily go into a back bend. So think as you go into it to open the front. If you grab the feet, you also open the tops of the ankles and the ankles themselves. So either grab the ankles or the feet, up to you. You extend the legs away from you, engage your glutes as much as you can, and you lift everything up as much as you can, especially the thighs. They're so hard to lift up. And you breathe. You can look straight ahead or down to the ground, whatever feels good for your neck. No need or no reason to look up and crank the neck. Don't do that. Just extend your legs more. So we got 15 more seconds to go. Then we have half a minute. Stay with the breath. That's already it. So quick. Release down, exhale. Very good. Shake out the hips left and right. You're doing great. Alright, now we will meet in a downward facing dog. Just like what I would offer in my in-person classes, I call it yogi's choice, or just do your transition. If you want to do upward dog, sphinx, child's pose, whatever you want to do that gets you to downward dog is perfect. If you want to do those other 20 push-ups you wanted to do, then do those now. That's also fine. We'll meet in down dog. I will do a plank, knees down, elbows down, glide through to up dog, but you do whatever you want. Just keep the glutes engaged in those back bends. Downward dog. Beautiful. Let's all meet here. Come back to the breath, nice and slow. The heart rate went probably up throughout the last, 10 minutes or so. Let it slow back down by slowing the breath down. We're moving now into the more gentle part of the practice, where we really want to focus on slowing down and shifting back from this sympathetic nervous system activation to activating the parasympathetic nervous system, which is more relaxation than being active in working hard. Let's walk the feet forward, outside the hands, for Malasana, for squat. Welcome to a squat. Let's stay here for a bit. It's also nice to be in a squat in this position of the pelvis and the hips and the lower back after doing lots of back bending. Back bends are great and also very important, especially for a lot of us that are sitting a lot. It's so good to do back bends. But I encourage you and urge you to be careful with back bends. You can easily overdo it, especially asymmetrical back bends. So back bends is something I work on specifically. And we are now in squat talk with Flo, as you know. So I'm just sharing a little bit while we are in the squat. And if you think this is already uncomfortable and you want to get out of it, it sounds hard, but you got to work on your squat. That's just how I see it. The squat is such a normal, natural position. So if you comment or if you send me a DM on Instagram or us, then please send it in your squat. Otherwise, we will not respond to it if you didn't say, I sent this in a squat. I actually have people that send me messages like this. It's great. I'm proud of you guys. All of you that are squatting, it's perfect. So I usually do only one day a week, maybe where I focus a lot on back bends, like this today, but then just for a longer time. If you want more back bending classes, longer ones, we also have a couple on Patreon. But yeah, just find a balance that works for you, focusing on different parts of your body and standing poses and upper body strength and lower body and back bends and forward folds. You just got to make it work for you. Enough of a squat? Enough squat talk? Fine. Let's set the hips down. And let's come into a seated forward fold. So this is an interesting pose, a very great pose. But what I see a lot in classes is like this. Like, I want to reach forward. I'm struggling so hard. I'm like, why are you struggling? Bend your legs. Grab the feet. Maybe stay here, or just start to scoot the hips back until you feel a sensation in the back side of your legs, in your lower back, maybe your upper back, maybe your neck. It's all good because it's all connected. And that's where you stay. So for me, I don't feel anything here. But maybe for you, this is exactly where you want to be and you feel a really intense stretch. And you're like, wow, this is intense. I'm like, I don't feel anything. So it doesn't matter. There's no right or wrong here. You just need to make it work for you. There's no reason to force your body into this shape with the legs straight. You will not be enlightened if your legs are straight or if you bring the elbows to the ground or your head to the shins. Really, no one cares. You got to let go of this idea that a pose has to look a certain way. There are certain things you need to do to stay safe, but then it's really all about the sensation in your body, and that's very, very individual. And that's what you're looking for. And then once you have it, and you feel safe and good here, then you breathe. And that's it. Couple more breaths here. I should talk a little bit less, otherwise this class will be longer than 1 hour. But all this talk that I'm just really excited about, that I touched a little bit on in this class today, is something I talk a lot more about on Patreon, because the classes are longer, so we just have more time to talk. You know, you and I, we can talk more. And also in our in-person classes, so the retreats and workshops, there's just so much to share. Just all the exciting stuff, at least for me. Let's take 2 more breaths here. If you have the legs straight, then work more on bringing the elbows down to the ground before you bring your head down. And release slowly, bring the hands down, push yourself back up, walk the hands back. Beautiful. Now, bend your legs, bring the feet wider apart, move the hips forward, and the fingertips are pointing towards the heels. Slide the hips even more forward until you feel a sensation in the front side of your shoulders. And that's where you stay. Then you bend your arms more, send the elbows back, but don't let the elbows flare outwards. Keep them close together. We're stretching out the shoulders. That worked so hard today for those 47 chaturangas. And let's breathe. Very good. Release. Walk the hands forward, come onto your back. Let's finish up in half Savasana. Cross your left leg over the right thigh. Lift your hips up, scoot the hips to the left, and then bring the legs over to the right side, down to the ground. Let's end with a twist. To both sides, supine twist, extend your left arm away from you. If you want, you can bring your right arm on top of your legs. If crossing the legs like this doesn't feel good for you, then just stack them. So whatever you can do here to feel the twist. It's good to end back bends and a backbending practice with a twist. Now if you're noticing that your legs are not touching the ground or that your left shoulder is lifted, who cares? Do you feel the twist? I assume so. Now focus on your breath. Do you feel good here? That's all that counts. Deep breaths into the belly to practice breathing in different positions and shapes your body is in. Use your right hand, help your legs back to center. Let's do the other side. Scoot the hips over and then bring the legs down. Always need to adjust the microphone here. So just do your thing. Extend the right arm away from you. Relax, breathe. Just 3 more deep, slow breaths. Use your left hand, bring your legs back to center. Hug the knees into the chest. Give yourself a nice hug. Last deep breath in. Exhale, extend the legs forward for Savasana. Let the palms facing upwards. Let the palms face upwards. Let the feet naturally fall open. Relax your whole body. All the work is done for now. You can also now stop controlling the breath. You did that for the last 45 or 50 minutes or something. Now it's time to relax. I'll stay with you for a little bit in Savasana, but I recommend you stay a lot longer. Sometimes it's just nice to stay for 5 minutes or even longer. If you're one of those that already feels like you want to get moving and do the next thing, then you are also one of those that need to practice Savasana more. Because it seems this is the most challenging pose for you, which is great. It's a great discovery. And you can work on it. You gotta chill out and relax in Savasana for a bit. Observe your breath. The air is coming in and out through the nose. Feel the support from the surface and the ground beneath you. Relax more into it. It's there for you to support you. Relax your fingers and your hands, your shoulders, your face, your head, your hips, your thighs. Relax your shins, your calves. Relax your ankles. Relax your feet. And relax your toes. With every inhale, the belly lifts up. And with the exhale, it lowers. Thank you for practicing with me today. I'm very proud of you for showing up, for investing in yourself, and for carving out that time to just focus on you. It's so, so important. And most of us don't do that nearly enough. I will see you in the next video. With love and gratitude, Namaste.